latest acquisition to help with the restoration of the autocar and the Kenworth, plus just some side money, I guess. This is a big 250 CFM Deutz 4-cylinder diesel powered compressor. Came with a blasting pot and everything, so it means I can get every bit of metal I'm working on real nice and clean, which is especially important with the fenders and anything else that's going to be painted. So gonna get it off the trailer. Looks sketchy, but it's not. It's on some blocks of wood under there and it's strapped down with multiple straps. Does not move at all. Yeah, gonna get it off the trailer, strip the bodywork off it because it's all shit, and then so I've taken the wheels off this, cleaned up some steel on the bottom and the back. Same here. It's quite badly pitted to be honest, but if we're holding that up, it'll be strong enough by the time it's welded to here, a support back to here, a support back to here, and then once I've removed the sides at a later date, I will weld some strengtheners from here back to the pot as well, and then eventually probably one from this bit of angle iron. This is like inch plate, so it's plenty strong enough to support it. Yeah, so I'm gonna get the welder out. I'm gonna weld this on, well, I'll weld this onto here because I've got to return my mate's forklift. Borrowed it from a unit further up, as mine is fucked, as you saw earlier. And then once this is welded on, if I've got enough time, I will try running some new fuel lines on the forklift and a new lift pump. Hopefully one of those fixes it, because this one isn't quite as handy as mine. See, it's got short forks, whereas I've got the extra long 5-foot forks, which just makes a world of difference. I've also got a spreader on mine, which this doesn't have, and a lot more movement in the side shift and forward and rear tilt. But that's a lifesaver at the minute, because there's no way I could lift that up by myself. It weighs, I don't know what, there's probably, I'd probably say a good 300 kilos there. It's all very thick steel and it's got a bit of sand in it still as well. I knew it was going to be tail heavy with that and that I'd need a second axle. Bit tail heavier than I thought, so just going to drop a couple of 100-kilo weights on the front end. And by 100-kilo weights I mean probably one of those wagon tires over there. Drop it down a bit, and then I'll sort out putting the rear a second axle on there when I get hold of one. My mate's got a caravan chassis, so what I'll probably do is just say, once I strip this down to just a skid again, lift it up, plonk it on the chassis, job done. So I've done a little bodge just to make it easy to move around for the moment, and I've also discovered something that I can move the axle back. There's bolt holes in the frame rails further back around here, so I can essentially move the axle back about 18 inches, which should hopefully correct the balance point on this, and with any luck will mean I don't actually need to transfer it to the caravan trailer. But what I've done, just to keep it all upright, is make a little skid, some 50x50 by 2.5 box, and a bit of inch tube that I had lying around that I'd bent it for another job, and I'd actually cut a couple of sections off it. So I've just welded 2 sections back together with a bend on the end, which means it can kind of skid. Better than nothing, keeps it at the right height, and yeah, means I can get it in and out of the shop. It's movable, even if it is going to scratch the concrete a little bit. I'm not too bothered. We've welded on just a bit of channel there. It's got some big thick welds going on down here. Same on the other side. So it's not going to fall over. I'm going to reattach the regulator and everything here after I've chopped the bodywork off and moved the axle. So yeah, I'm just putting it back inside because I'm aware of the time and that forklift needs to be returned to the other unit soon. Then I may piss about with my own forklift shortly. But that's where we're up to. So I've just turned up at the unit. I had someone collecting some parts off me, and whilst I've been out, my landlord has done me a massive favour in removing the billet. He said he just attached his 14-ton digger to it. You see it up there, and yeah, pulled and pulled and pulled, and out she popped. So he doesn't reckon it's 12 ton. But I guess we'll find out when it gets weighed in. Unless I do save it for an engineering table, but I really doubt that. My plan would have been to chop it there, and then, see, if I flipped it upside down, I'd get rid of all that horrid welded area, and I could have stuck it on these bits of beam chopped in half. But yeah, unlikely. It's a lot of effort, and there's probably like 2.5-3 grand's worth of scrap to get rid of now. So yeah, we'll see. It's sitting a lot higher. I don't know if you can tell from the video, but the top of the fender is now 55 inches. I don't know what it was before, but I can tell you just by standing next to it, like where it is on me, it feels a lot taller. That being said, it'll now get in the workshop, and that's the main thing. So I'm going to publish this before I do the rest of the work anyway, because it's been a while since I posted the video, and then we'll get another follow-up one in quick succession. But essentially, that engine's going to come out. We're going to gas axe this off. We're going to gas axe this off, the frame that the billet used to sit in. So essentially, to get it out, what he told me was he shoved it back in with the 14-ton digger, and then just kind of ragged on it a bit, and it popped out. And the angle, I was right in my thinking, the angle was enough that it was able to slide out all the way without even touching the back of the Kenworth. Although you can see it landed on this bit of box and this bit of plate and box, and it's kind of driven it into the ground. But yeah, is what it is. It came out nicely, and that's just scrap anyway, so it doesn't make a shit of difference. I am very pleased. Yeah, anyway, so we're going to chop that, remove the doits, and then it'll fit in the workshop. It'll go underneath the big 10-ton ramp, so I'm going to be having quite the reshuffle over the weekend, and yeah, just making shit fit. I'm so happy that I can get this inside the workshop now, though, because it gets landlord off my back, and it means that I can work on this in peace. I can take the hood apart, I can take the whole front end apart basically, put my new fenders on, make sure they fit correctly, make the brackets, and then I can send them off to get painted. And I will do a video on shot blasting them, because as you've seen at the start of this video, I got my shot blaster working. Yeah, honestly, I'm so happy this is off. It's going to look a million times better as a tractor unit. So quickly, just back inside before I head home. With any luck, once that ramp's operational again, I'll be able to get the auto car on top of the ramp. The Kenworth for now is going to sit under the ramp, and I'm going to forklift the big frame at the back up onto there along with the cab. This will fit down somewhere in there as I will reshuffle. What's probably going to end up happening is I will move the, just eyeballing that now. Yeah, what I'll end up doing is I'm going to move the Devon, came to me eventually. I'm going to move the Devon sideways to where the method wheels are there. And then I'm going to move that, because it will just fit if I take the top off and the handles aren't in the way. That'll fit under the ramp. Bel Air will fit here. And I could even put the sleeper cab in as well, which just really tidies up the place. Keeps landlord happy, keeps me out of the shit. And yeah, it is a shithole in here. I am 100% aware of that, so no need for comments. I am aware. But yeah, project truck inside, and hopefully next weekend that white auto car will be sold to a new owner. The guy's currently away on holiday or business or something. He did tell me, I wasn't really paying much attention. Somewhere in Bulgaria. So, with any luck, that'll sell. At which point, the money from that will be poured straight back into the Kenworth, and then any extra, and whatever money I make on top of that for finishing off the job for him, will obviously go into the Kenworth as well. He's wanting to do, if he buys it, he's wanting to do a lot of the same mods that I was thinking of doing to it. So flame exhaust stacks, twin turbo setup, and a few other bits. So that'll still be a fun project to follow along with. And the little black truck outside is just about done. I've got to connect up the dash wiring. I've got to sort out the headlights. It's just the slam panel and the front grille, because it's a big one-piece thing on that truck, and whoever put it in before has cross-threaded bolts and only put a couple in. So yeah, I need to take that apart, and then it can go back to my mate. One more parking space freed up, rent cheaper, all good things. Anyway, I will see you in the next video.